Cody in the morning. WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Morning, everybody, and welcome into our Simply Superior studios right here on the Opry Plaza. We've got sunshine outside and smiles inside.
Like, you okay?
Yeah. Coffee is flowing this morning.
Suffice to say, they are really happy that I'm not the pilot of this Artemis thing up in space.
Oh,
Otherwise,
well.
they would not be back from the dark side of the moon.
It would be fine.
That's great.
Yeah. My husband said the other day, he's like, they're seeing the dark side of the moon. No one's ever seen that. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that, we had a whole album about it at one point.
We
right?
did. We synced it to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Well, I tried that, and it never worked for me.
You got to get it right, though.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it really does work.
It does?
Yeah. Well, it helps if you're in college.
Oh, if you're in college
Yeah.
and you have some fun. Okay,
Gotcha.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, welcome in,
Good
everybody.
morning. Hi.
We are talking throwbacks this morning. Last night, American Idol did 90s night. We were talking about what was happening in the 90s. You were talking about first email addresses and first screen names, which is hysterical.
Yeah, because Google is letting you change it now. You've been trapped for 22 years and whatever you started with, you've been stuck, but now you can change it. So we've been talking about that.
Would you change yours?
Yeah, I don't have to change my Google because all my embarrassing ones were AOL, Yahoo. You're talking about a lot of Yahoo, Hotmail.
Oh gosh, I still got my Hotmail one.
Yeah.
That's the one I keep trying to kill and no one will let it die.
So
Like I've tried so many times. I've told countless people like I don't use this anymore. Does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
Still important things get sent to that. So I can't let it die. It just lives there in perpetuity.
just permanently.
There it is.
Yeah.
So if you want to share some of the embarrassing things that you named your screen name, AIM, if you want to go there, MySpace, we were talking about as well.
Zanga, you name it.
I wish I could figure out my MySpace login.
I know. I've been thinking about it and I'm like, what was my song that I had? Like if my most and the files exist, like Charlie said, the files exist somewhere.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know who my top 8 were.
Yes.
And what my song was.
You weren't Kelly Sutton all the time at MySpace, were you?
No.
Okay, there is a Kay Sutton.
See, there are too many of them out there. There was There's a race car driver. She's a female. I interviewed her once, which was really funny. But yeah, so we always were battling to try to get our names saved. Anyway, let us know, 615-737-9650. If you want to share some of your embarrassing screen names or first AOL, Hotmail, Yahoo. Mm-hmm. What was yours? Web TV?
CC Ryder at webtv.net. I think .net. I don't even think it was .com. I think it was .net.
Why CC Ryder?
Elvis opening song. But the C and the C were already taken, so it had to be SEESEERI.
Oh, that's worse.
Of course it's worse.
So much. Way to bury the lead.
Yeah, it's so
It's
much
worse than we ever imagined it would be.
Yeah, that's what I bring to the table. Worse than we ever imagined it to be. Hi, I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you.
Charlie.
I'm worse than you ever imagined.
615-737-9650. Give us a phone call this morning. We would love to hear about it. Also going to tell you who went home on American Idol. And we are welcoming in Suzanne Cox and Brandon Ratcliff. They made their Grand Ole Opry debut together on Friday night. Mother and son. They're coming into the studio to talk to us next.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Listen, I saw her smile coming in, and it just made me smile even bigger. Tenille Townes,
You guys are
how
so
you?
sweet. I'm great. How are you?
Doing great.
So lovely to be in here. Thanks for having me.
I couldn't believe you
guys.
hadn't been in the studio before.
I know. We're in Roy Eckhoff's house. How cool
That's right.
is this?
Isn't it fun?
This is so amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of history in here, and at the same time, like we feel like we've kind of put our own stamp on it. I don't know if he likes that. There are days.
Oh no,
You're getting little visits.
we don't play Wabash Cannonball nearly enough.
We have to
suit him. I think
At least
Yeah.
once a day. Yeah, that's at least part of it.
I'm so happy you guys are all set up in here. This is amazing.
It's really
fun,
cool.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
very cool.
we literally met for the first time like 50 feet from here on the Opry Plaza.
Yes,
when
we
they
did,
when they made us
Charlie.
both be outside. We
That's
couldn't go
right.
into the air conditioning yet.
No, we couldn't.
But
That's
now we
so
can both
true.
go into the air conditioning.
Now we're allowed. We are permitted in the building now. How times have changed.
What year would that have been that you were playing the Plaza Party?
Well,
That would have been, I think it was CMA Fest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was an Opry kickoff that I got invited to play, and I was like freaking out, so excited.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
and it was just the acoustic versions of
That's right.
things like
Yeah.
Somebody's Daughter
That's
and
right.
Jersey on the
Jersey on the
Wall.
Wall.
And I remember listening on the
early
way in, and I'm
days.
like, this girl is amazing. These are incredible songs. So
thank you
yeah,
for
and they
that.
still
You're so
are.
sweet.
That's the beauty of it. But,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You know, I think about when you're watching your career and steps like that. There are things that you look back on now, and they were big.
Yeah.
They're not as big as other things that you have
Yes.
since, acquired from Juno Awards and whatever. But when you first got the call to do the Opry Plaza Party,
Yeah, no kidding.
it must have felt like this is a huge deal, right?
It was a huge deal. It was massive. It was like every stepping stone is everything you've been hoping and wishing for. It's like the thing that kind of motivates you to pack up the Tacoma truck and drive 47 hours from your hometown to move here. And it's like, it's happening. I'm playing the Opry Plaza.
I'm doing it. I knew I was right.
I
Mom.
know. I knew it.
Is it really 47 hours?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Wow. Yep. Just a short little road trip.
Okay, so your parents just came into town. They did not drive. They flew.
No, they flew.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a short flight, actually. But yes, yep, they were hanging for Easter, and yeah,
That's awesome.
all is good.
Well, and you said now direct flight, so a little bit easier for you to get to see family.
Yes,
That's
it is.
nice.
They're in Alberta.
They're not basically the North Pole. Yeah, we're
Great.
like 5 hours from the Edmonton airport. Keep driving straight north. So it's quite a commitment to get home and stuff. But yeah, it's I still have my little piece of home here, and I love it when they come visit, and it's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when they come to town, where do you take them? Like,
Where
what
did
are
we go this time? Let's see. Well, my dad loves all the guitar shops, so we
okay.
definitely go to Gruen's.
Yeah.
We stop by Carter's. What else do we do?
Oh, so he gives back to our
He
economy.
gives back to the community
love it.
big time.
He's
He
pouring
loves the
in.
guitar
Yeah,
shops.
okay.
No, we mostly just walk by and admire, but every now and then he'll get a little wild. But no, we went to Skinny Dennis. We went two-step in and that was really fun. And what else did we do?
Skinny Dennis is so cool.
It's
It
so
is,
cool.
yeah.
And it was like it was old time great music, and like even my younger brother was dancing. It was really fun. It was a good time.
Wow. Well, you had the best weekend.
We
That's
did.
amazing.
Did you guys have a good Easter?
It was great. It was great.
Good.
We had all the
Low-key.
family in town. Yeah.
Mine was low key,
Nice.
on purpose.
Yeah. Low-key's nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
You needed to regroup. You needed to have a little time to yourself because now we're launching this new project.
Yeah, it's a big week now.
So when you go into album launch, and especially this time you're doing it, man, this is cool because it's independent and you are like, this is mine. What did that feel like for you? Because being on a label is one thing, and you're working with people that they really probably want you to work with, and there are other people you got to answer to.
Yeah.
And now it's you calling the shot.
Yeah, and it feels really great now. If I'm honest, at first it felt so disorienting and lonely, and I got real turned around and lost for a couple of years. But making this music kind of helped me find my way back to myself. It's like I recorded this album sitting in my spare room next to my little dog Sam, and at first I was just making guitar vocals to try to decide what songs to take into the studio, like what's next, and then I listened back I got a few of them, and I was like, wait, I think I like these like this. Like, what if I made the record like that? And it was really kind of strengthening my own intuition again, coming into that season of having all these different opinions and people around and going, okay, what am I doing, to just figuring that out for myself? And it kind of was really liberating. So I'm on the freedom side of of lonely now, and it feels really good.
I love that for you because the freedom side of lonely.
Tenille.
Are we
Hold
about
on.
to write a
We're
song
writing it
here?
down.
Let's
Don't
go.
anybody listening on Music Row, don't you dare.
Lonely.
We'll know you stole it.
That's amazing.
Don't you dare.
Okay,
We get a
wait, I gotta
third.
get my guitar. We need some chords. Let's go.
But seriously, thinking about what you have created and knowing now, like, this is out into the world and people can listen to it.
It's pretty wild.
That's just got to be an incredible feeling for you.
It does. It feels really good. And I have to say, it's been really encouraging. I've tried my best to be transparent of that process of the last couple of years of what the highs and lows of what that's kind of felt like.
Yeah.
And the community out there has just been unreal. They've been so excited about this new chapter. And I launched this album on vinyl because I really do believe it's kind of for like true music lovers who know the second verse. And Charlie over here is part of the reason this album has taken flight.
Now, this is true. Listen, I saw the post, and I'm like, and Tenille's like, well, if we can sell 300 of
that
these.
was the goal, and that's more than I've ever done with the label.
And the next day, it was like, y'all, we are over 1,000
It was
already.
insane.
So it was like crazy
Thank you
how
for
it
being
took
a part
off.
of that. I
Right.
could just
So,
cry looking
yeah.
at you over there, but thank you for believing in this.
Well, you mentioned community, though. Not
That's
just
what it is.
Not just the music community, but literally your neighbors. I mean, we all. Well, Kelly didn't suffer because Kelly was in Honolulu during the ice storm shooting American Idol.
You timed that real
I
well.
really did.
But I mean, but your neighbors even kicked in, providing
know.
power and
I
a living room to come and write in with the dog.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing to follow.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That was insane. We lost power, and my sweet neighbor Tom was like, I got an extension cord and a generator running, and we had it fit just in the right slot of the fence, like it was hanging. It just made the distance, and I was like, I got to turn my fridge on for a bit and a little space heater, and then another friend was like, come stay at this empty It was so amazing. Like, people are so good, and same thing with just supporting this new chapter of music. It's like I feel like I'm taking that leap into like the wide open arms of so many people believing beside me, and that's such an encouraging feeling. So that's my favorite part of music. And
That's so good. And I have to say, from knowing you and following you through all the ups and downs, you were so transparent. And I think that people really see that and connect with that. And of course, I feel like that's the energy you give out into the world, talking about community. Like you're always showing up, and that comes back to you. So I feel
so
like
nice.
this is all meant to be, and building your story in this way has been really beautiful to watch from the outside. So
dang, you make me cry. That's so
No,
nice. Thank you for
seriously.
saying that. I
Yeah.
really do appreciate that. I feel like it's been a lot of learning, but it is kind of like vulnerability is like a two-way street. I think you kind of get what you give back. And
for sure.
I really love figuring that out. It's for the best, I think, even in the hard moments.
All right, we are going to feature the new video. We could use a little more.
Ooh, that's so cool. Thank you for
Is
playing
this the world
this.
premiere of the video?
It's not the world premiere, but it's the first time it's getting played, I think, on the radio. So thank you
Okay,
for
we're
that.
taking it.
Let's go.
We will take it. It's Tenille Townes, everybody, on WSM.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
We are sitting across from Tenille Townes. The new album, The Acrobat, comes out this Friday. Give us the reason for The Acrobat. And you did this with Lori McKenna, right?
Yes, she's just my songwriting hero.
She's phenomenal.
Literally, when I first moved to Nashville, I got the night that we drove, we randomly got 2 tickets to the Bluebird and saw her play, and that was just like, that set the bar to me. I was like,
Magical.
this woman, she's incredible. So it was a really cool full circle to have her singing on this. And this album's all about a whole new flight path and like kind of taking a leap into that great unknown. So The Acrobat felt like the right symbol for that.
I just remember my daughter was in the musical Matilda.
Oh.
And there's a great
Love that.
There's a great passage that's the acrobat and the escapologist, and the escapologist is catching the acrobat as she flies
cool
over
is
sparkly things and spiky things. And there's just this really
that.
beautiful analogy of how she's flying through the air and he catches her.
I
So,
love that.
yeah, it
That's
was
really sweet.
I'll have to send you that picture because it's
Please
beautiful.
do.
But that's
How cool.
that's what I'm picturing for you is you're flying out there, girl. But all of these people are ready to catch you.
Ah, so cool.
Oh, look at-
Yeah, look at that.
This has gotten deep this
done.
morning.
Look what you just did
Look what you
there.
did,
Well,
Tenille.
seriously, you have 1,000 plus that have already, gotten online to get the vinyl. That's huge.
That literally felt like the wide open arms that were. I was like, the acrobat is
Yeah.
caught. She's good. Yeah, she's.
We'll take your copay on the way out.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
This is therapy.
Charlie.
Is there anything else you want to get off your chest this morning? We're here for you. Okay, you got your beautiful guitar out. Give us the
do.
detail on More Love and all of the beautiful inscriptions.
Okay, well, so this is my friend Louis Lavoie back in Alberta who painted this, but I have this thing where every album gets a time capsule tattooed guitar. And so this is the third one. There was one for like the lemonade stand back in the day and another one for masquerades, and now it's time for a new guitar. So More Love for the last song that we just played, and then every song has like a little symbol or a lyric on it. And on the back there's this scene in my spare room next to my dog, Sam, that I recorded this album at. So yeah, that's my little tattooed time capsule guitar.
That's so cool.
That is so cool.
It'll be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Oh, come on.
Exactly right.
I just love hanging with you guys. And every day. This is
You
great.
can be with us anytime you want to. Okay, what do you want to play for us live this morning?
Okay, well, I actually haven't really played this song. This is one of the new ones off the album that hasn't been released yet, and I thought I'd take it for a little debut spin with you guys. But this is a song that came from back in the day. I used to go visit my great-grandmother at the Alzheimer's ward in our hometown, and that was a really tough 10 years of her going through that. But we used to go sit for lunch, and I was I don't know, maybe in 6th or 7th grade, and there was this other patient, this woman who would sit in the cafeteria at lunch, and she had this toy keyboard, and she would play this polka like nobody's business, like front to back. She couldn't tell you her name, but she could play this piece of music like it was incredible. And she'd finish and she'd turn around and we'd all clap and cheer for her. It was like she was playing sold out Carnegie Hall.
Sure.
And then she'd turn around to the keyboard and she'd start the song right over again. And it was just that was the soundtrack to Lunch with Ma Mère.
Gosh.
And so I just never kind of forgot about that, and I always wanted to write a song about it. And so Lori McKenna and Amy Lodge and our friend Alex Stacy wrote this song together. So here we go.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
that was stunning.
Thank you.
Did you ever learn her name?
I didn't. I bet I could call my grandma and ask her name. That was because it was her mother, but that was in there with this lady at the home. But yeah, I never met her. I just heard her play a polka at lunchtime all the time.
Oh my gosh, that was stunning.
Thank
special.
you. Thank you so
Absolutely
much.
beautiful.
I appreciate that.
The Acrobat coming out on Friday. You also have a couple of things that are coming up. Where can people find out when you're playing? You're Third and Lindsley on Thursday night, right?
Third and Lindsley
Yep.
album release show here in Nashville on Thursday night, and then Friday we're hanging at the Grand Ole Opry, which is going to be so fun. And then Saturday we're playing the Bluebird, so it'll be a little
Man.
That's quite the
You got,
Nashville
like,
trio.
Nashville
weekend.
Sweet, yeah.
I know. I feel so lucky.
1, 2, 3.
I
That's
know.
perfect.
And then we're headed out on the rest of the living room tour. We're going up to Canada and playing a couple shows with the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra, which
Oh,
I'm so
wow.
excited
Okay.
about.
Deal.
I know,
amazing.
I'm freaking out. That's going to be really fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good spring. I can't wait to see everybody out on the road.
We love seeing you.
I love being with you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
friend.
True joy.
Congratulations. Charlie's excited to get his vinyl.
Yeah.
you're the
I think
best.
tracking says it arrives
Come
either
on,
today
I
or
can't
tomorrow.
believe you were
Okay,
so,
great.
Charlie.
There we
Thank
go.
you
So
so much. You guys are the
The
best.
Acrobat is out. Y'all go buy your vinyl too. She wants to sell a couple more of them. And then you can see her over at Third and Lindsley, then the Grand Ole Opry, then the Bluebird, Tenille Townes. Speaking of the Opry, on Friday night, Lainey Garner was there. She did this song. It was haunting. It was beautiful. A little spooky. It's called Rattler and the Devil's Whip. You're hearing it this morning on WSM.
Down in the Rattler and the Devil's Whip, people go missing on the Blue Ridge. Take heed to a warning when it's given to you. Don't mark the mountains or they'll take you to. Man, we used to say, don't you go too far, and don't you go whistling after dark, and never look too hard up into the trees. You may not like what you see. And there's a strange shade of blue in the porch lights, and things that call your name in the dead of the night, and keep away from the fog that moves against the wind. Nothing out there's your friend. Down near the Rattler and the Devil's Whip, people go missing on the Blue Ridge. Take heed to what the wind's giving to you. Don't mark the mountains or they'll take you to. Well, it's 25 miles over 200 turns. It's where the Harleys hum and the rubber burns. If you find yourself unlucky off the beaten path, no, you may not be making it back. Down near the Rattler and the Devil's Whip, people go missing on the Blue Ridge. Take heed to the warning when it's given to you. Don't mark the mountains or they'll take you to. Take you to. devil's whip. Down near the rattler and the devil's whip. Down near the rattler and the devil's whip. People go missing on the Blue Ridge. Take heed to the wind's giving to you. Don't mark the mountains or they'll take you. Take you to.
Thank you guys very much. My name is Lainey Gardner. One more time for Lainey Gardner, everybody.
Hey, that's you.
That's me. That was Friday. Didn't she sound cool? That was such a cool, oh, that is going to be one of my added to soundtracks for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like she talks about like
Ooh,
being, out in the Blue Ridge, and there are certain things that you don't do. If you hear a whistle, no, you didn't.
Nope. Right.
Yeah. If somebody said your name, no, they didn't. Don't listen. Stay inside. So it was really spooky and fun. That Lainey Gardner right there on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. We are chatting about a multitude of things. It's kind of been that 90s throwback vibe, which I love. American
Always.
Idol did that last night.
Yep.
It was basically all the contestants had to choose from 3 songs that were offered up, and all 3 of the songs came from the 90s. So each judge, Lionel, Luke, and Carrie, got to put forth a song that they thought would be good for that contestant.
Okay.
And then the contestant got to choose. Y'all, the funniest part was they would be like, okay, your choices are Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
Then they would throw in, Weezer, and then they would be like the Cranberries. And then the contestant would go, I don't know any of those songs.
Of course they did.
And they said, when were you born? And they're like, 07.
2005.
Lucas Leon, 07. And I was like, oh my gosh.
What Alanis
So-
song was it? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Oh.
So whoever, if they chose that song, like if Carrie said, you should really sing this Cranberry song, and they chose it, then Carrie got a point. Lionel swept. He got like 7 points. And that meant he got to keep one of the bottom 2. He got a save.
Ooh.
So he ended up saving Ray, who I think is just a really strong front runner. I can't believe she was in the bottom 2. But last night they also wore like outfits, and Carrie came out looking like Michelle from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, and she killed it. It was great.
Like what a very
Pink,
spot
the pink
on.
Oh,
soda,
that is good.
The big soda shoes, remember those with the chunky heel,
Yep.
the tiny little purse. I was
Spot on.
pretty impressed by all of that. The people who went home last night, Julian was like one of the first ones that went home. Jake Thistle.
Oh.
Jake was one of my faves. He was the singer-songwriter like Little John Mayer.
Yeah.
And then Jesse Feinling went home as the last one last night on American Idol.
It's
So
always hard.
I know.
Sending all
Cuts
the
are
people
coming. Cuts are
home.
coming.
Yep.
But our girl is still in there. So Kendall Inskeep's still there. George McCullough's still there.
Okay.
They're still
Middle
trekking
Tennessee
along.
holding it down.
That's right. That's
it down.
right. All right. Gmails, crazy ones.
Yeah. Gmail is finally allowing people to change their email addresses after 22 years. So if you're locked into a very embarrassing Gmail account that you are now embarrassed. The thing is that we were never thinking we were going to have to say our email addresses out loud at the checkout when they're
Oh.
like, what's your email?
For sure.
Or picking up a package or something. What's your email address?
For sure.
It's like I was
Yes.
never going to be insyncrazy31@aol.com. So thankfully I don't have to say that anymore. But
NSYNC crazy.
That's pretty good.
31.
That's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
send you an email right now and see if it bounces
I
back.
don't even know. I mean, I haven't had that email. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, did your college, I know my college, you had a college email,
Right.
but it
Yeah.
was the first 2 initials of your first name, your first 2 letters of your last name, and all these numbers.
Yes.
And you had to remember that.
Yeah.
So you'd be Am-Ann?
I was am7283228 at ucf.edu.
Right.
And you had to give that.
Yeah, my college didn't have internet, so
that's fine.
Thanks for that.
I barely had it, barely.
I remember Paul and I dated my senior year. Well, my beginning of my late junior year, senior year is when I met Paul, and so we were dating long distance. He was in Georgia, so that's when we had instant messenger. And I remember, y'all, this is so cheesy. Do you remember how you could draw pictures?
Yes, with the.
Do you remember it was like the dash, and then it was the @ sign, and it looked like a rose?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Did he send you those?
He sent me a dozen little roses.
Of course he did.
On the instant messenger.
The love language. Or
I was like, how did you do that? That's so cool.
People don't realize the subtext to it, like aim away messages.
Oh, yeah.
If you could leave, again, we're like 19, and it's like you would put the like very melancholy song lyrics,
right,
and hope that your crush would see it. And it's like the way that you just left it up all day. You would set it, go to class, and you'd be like, "Take that,
yes,
Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Read that." And it
weep.
was like something like real deep, like
Wow.
Oh,
like that was the way that.
This is how we're putting it out there. And you would really think hard about who was in your top 8 when you were on MySpace. That was really important.
Yep. If you got demoted from someone's top 8, it was a problem.
I spent a lot of time on the wallpaper, like what it looked like on the back. You know,
we were all coders before coding was a thing. Like,
that's a
you
true
had
story.
to like code that page.
Yeah,
Which is wild to think about now.
It is truly. How did we do any of that?
I don't know, because we didn't have YouTube tutorials to teach us how to do that.
No.
Like, how did we learn how to do that?
Back when the internet was mailed to you on a disc. That's still my favorite. I have to find the comedian that did that stand-up because it was so funny. He's like, I don't know how to explain this to the youngsters in the audience, but we got our internet through the mail.
Through the mail.
Sent us a CD.
Hell, we got Netflix through the mail.
We sure did.
People forget that it came as
you
DVDs,
remember?
and you
Yep.
could buy. You had to send them back, and you had your wish list, and they would send you the next on your wish list.
Mm-hmm.
I distinctly remember they charged you per CD. Like you could do the 2 a month, or if you wanted to do the 2 plus streaming. And it was way more expensive. And I was like, well, who's going to do the streaming? That's silly.
Yeah, why would I want that?
They're getting my money every month this month.
Oh, mine too. Along
And
with
they just went up again
yeah,
in prices.
and the bundle and
You had an
Peacock
update
and-
for Chris Young. Do
Yes.
we have time? Okay,
We'll
do
save it.
All right.
We'll save it.
Chris Young update on the way. But right now, we're going to the Grand Ole Opry. Vince Gill, What the Cowgirls Do. You're hearing it on WSM.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Suzanne Cox and Brandon Ratcliff are sitting in the studio with us this morning after making their Grand Ole Opry debut together on Friday night. This is the coolest. So we talked about this the night of. I was there and I got to host that night. Suzanne, do you remember when your debut would have been with the Cox family?
It would have been sometime in 2015
Okay.
when we came out with Gone Like the Cotton.
Okay.
Which is a great story. You know, we did that album, 17 years ago.
It was in the vault.
I was in bed because I was pregnant with his brother, and everybody came up here without me, and they got a lot of my stuff. I mean, their stuff done.
Yeah.
So I'd just been, over the years, I'd said, Alice, I wish we could have finished that album. You know, there was a transition with presidents of Warner Brother.
Yeah.
And we got to do that 17 years later, and I put mine on Fresh, but that was what we probably, I would say, would be our debut, was doing songs from that.
Y'all played it before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It wasn't like a, I guess
we were
like
with
a,
Alice and a lot of
Sure.
times,
Yeah.
and, you know, various, but pretty much that was the first time we had went out as the Cox
As the
family.
Cox family, wow.
Allison Krauss, of course. who
Yeah.
we're
Just
talking about.
Allison. Just casual.
Casual for anybody that didn't know and didn't pick that up. But it is interesting because we love hearing the stories of people that, you know, I've been on the stage a million times, but then when the spotlight's really on you, it's a different feeling when it's
I
your
know
debut.
it is.
I know. And then Brandon, when was your debut?
Mine was 3 years ago, so 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like it was just yesterday, but yeah.
Well, actually.
In April, yeah. It was just around the same time. Yeah. But you are very right about that. It is a different feeling when you're like, this time I felt much more, first time I felt like a lot of nervous energy.
Right.
This time I was like just really excited about it. And part of it I think was just like sharing it with mom. We've talked about this a lot. Like there is something, she always had a band with her for the most part. I've done a lot of stuff totally on my own. I mean, like I've opened up for Paul Cauthen and Gavin DeGraw and Keith Urban and people like that. And a lot of it was just me.
And
on stage and a guitar.
Yeah.
And that you feel like you're sort of holding the whole thing on your shoulders.
I don't know how y'all do that.
A little bit like a stand-up comedian in a way, you know. Which I wish I was just as funny as they were, but because that can kill some dead space. But but it is different when you're sharing it with someone. There is like a feeling more of like excitement. I mean, the nerves still get you right before you go up there, but I don't know, it's just more fun that way, I feel like, you know.
I just looked up the lineup for your Opry debut because I remember chatting with you that night, but I couldn't remember who was on the show, right? So it opened with Riders in the Sky. Our friend Katie Offerman did a couple. Then Brandon, and then Don Schlitz closed the first half of the show.
Yes.
And then Bobby Osborne, God bless him, Miss Bobby, Sarah Evans, and the Oak Ridge Boys. I mean, what a memorable first night at the Opry.
Yeah, it's a good night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice lineup.
That's a good little lineup.
That's pretty good.
I love it.
So growing up, listening to mom, hearing the Cox family, everybody around you singing, and then you're doing your own thing. How did this project come together? How did you guys finally decide to do something together?
Yeah, I mean, totally by accident in a lot of ways. I mean, she and I have talked about over the years doing something together. We've kind of, dreamed it up, but we didn't really have any like plans really, which I guess is how all great things start, no plans at all. Right. But mom, I was back home over the holidays. We went to Louisiana. The last year was just a long, crazy year. And so we went back to Louisiana for Thanksgiving, and we loved going back home so much that we haven't been going back home for Christmas because we have littles of our own now. So we try to do Christmas there at our house. And so we were like, right after Christmas, we should go back to Louisiana. So we left the 26th, went down there, just hung out with family and everything. And then for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was nice. It was a much needed like kind of breath of fresh air at the end of a long year. And so me and mom were sitting on like the place where I grew up. Like we lived in a little like a shotgun trailer house there for many years on this little piece of land when we were real young. And they still have that property. And so we were just sitting out there, in the yard. My daughter was playing, and me and mom were just like we always do, just kind of singing around songs. I had this song that morning that popped in my head on the way there. I was singing that, trailers for sale, rooms to let 50 cents. And I was like, we should just do that real quick, like do a quick version of it, So we did it on the picnic table, and it kind of like did well, like better than most of my videos have been doing. And I had just about given up on TikTok. Like I was still posting.
Yeah, said, I'm still going to post.
But I was like, as they say, holding on loosely but not letting go. I was not counting on it happening. And so I sort of had no expectations for the outcome. But I noticed immediately they were doing way better than all my other videos. And I was like, oh, this is cool, And then we went over to this little truck that's sitting by our thing, and we did I'm Weary. And man, that one just like took off. Yeah. Like I had cousins texting me. We were having my daughter's 3rd birthday party, and I had cousins text me, and they were like, dude, I think you're going viral. And like I looked at my phone, and it was just blowing up. And then I immediately had to go back to Nashville, and I remember telling mom, like, you got to come to Nashville. Like we got to keep doing this. Like these are working really, really well. And then it just kept snowballing to the point where like I remember I told a buddy of mine, the week I knew it was really working was when Rosie O'Donnell and Joe Jonas followed me in the same week. Yeah. Wow. I was like, when you're getting that wide of a spectrum of people, it is crazy. And then just yesterday, actually, huge for me. This is, big deal for you. It a big deal for me. It made my year really. Yeah. But in addition to my mom and my Uncle Sydney and a lot of my family who inspired me to do music, like the biggest guy that he's a hero of mine. He's a guy that made me fall in love with songwriting, guitar playing, is John Mayer.
Same.
And me and mom did a little version of his song, and I was like, I'm just going to see if I can bait him into a response. The same way I did the Opry, by the way.
Perfect.
And it took like about a week, and he finally saw it, and he reposted it, and that video has since like been blowing up, and I'm like, I mean, I was sending one of those messages that's like, hey man, I know you'll probably never see this,
Yeah.
but like, I just want to let you know like how much you've inspired me. And like, as always, I'm looking forward to hearing what you're working on. But like,
You're like, give me
so
this.
cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, incredible stuff. So I mean, the whole thing has been just sort of like, I mean, we keep saying it's just like a God thing. It's like I wish, even the way this Opry thing worked out. I mean, like it is so like out of my. I would love to take credit for like the managing of this whole thing because it's been executed so well. But it just feels like it's just kind of happening in this weirdly natural way. Like the odds of us doing the Opry on the day that we release the EP, you know, in the way that it happened is just, to me, I'm like. I don't know how to take credit
Meant
for that.
to be.
Yeah, meant to be.
Yeah.
It's
Meant to
crazy.
EP is Mother Son Volume 1. We're going to play a song that you guys did on Friday night. This is Far Side Banks of Jordan. You haven't heard it yet, have you?
I haven't, no.
All right. Here you go, everybody. Suzanne Cox and Brandon Ratcliff.
Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Mother Son Volume 1 is out. So that leads me to ask Suzanne and Brandon, is Volume 2 coming? Do we have Volume 2?
I did that intentionally for sure. Yeah, I was like, I'll tell you this. We don't know what's coming next, but we do know that we are working on some original music right now that we are
good bit of them.
very, very excited about. We want to do a full project, and I love songwriting. She loves songwriting, and we've just had so much of the songwriting community that we both are friends with. Sort of just like once we started doing this, they were like, "Dude, I want to write on this kind of stuff." So I mean, it's been happening like crazy, and we again
Some
very
really fun
very
stuff.
unintentionally like have almost written a whole record like in the last couple months. I mean, it just is like,
Isn't that wild?
it is so wild. And I've been in Nashville for 12 years and I keep telling friends of mine, I go, it is very strange to me how this thing is like the least I've ever tried in some sense. Like it just sort of feels like it's had this weird momentum that is, again, like everything else, I feel like, as my dad always said, I feel like I'm pushing a rope up a hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so, you have to work so hard to get attention and do all this stuff,
In
even
this
if you're
time,
good,
definitely.
you know? And with this, it just seems like it's like we started January 1st and it just feels like it's been a snowball ever since. And like, even with this record, I was like, every record I've ever done takes, year or two to write. And then you got to go through the whole recording process. By the time the songs come out, you kind of can't. You're like, I'm over this. I've moved on to something else.
Right.
This one, I'm like, we may be done with this before the summertime. I mean, it's just, it's crazy.
And it
so,
seems to be falling out of both of you.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, again, have followed your journey for quite a while and know how hard that you work and grind.
Yeah.
And for something so organic to happen, I think it just speaks to how much people are hungry for something different.
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's
For
not like
It's almost
and
a
it's-
nostalgia.
I agree.
Yes,
Too.
and
Yeah,
it's
to me.
special because
Yeah.
there is like obviously there's emotional connection there.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
relatable. It just works, and
Okay.
I
I
love
really
that.
appreciate that.
I have a question, Suzanne. How many times did you try to get him to sing with you when he was a kid?
Well, that's interesting. My husband had a request for me when I was pregnant with him, actually, and he said, "Promise me one thing." And I said, what would that be? Yeah, he said, "Promise me that you'll let them, when it comes time for that, for them to pick that, let them, do that for themselves." And I said, well, deal. And they obviously did because they were around so much of it
Sure.
in childhood. But yeah, that's what he asked me. He said, just let them be able to pick that for
What's-
themselves.
What's really funny about that to me is you and Dad sort of like, Mom did always sing with us and around us and kind of implicitly wanted us to do it. But it's funny how Dad would be the one to make that request. And now he's the one
That's
who
cool.
never stops pushing music. Yeah. So he's like constantly on us to be doing music. And I'm like, he just ate those words,
Yeah, he does.
Wow.
I know having a teenager, Charlie's about to have a teenager pretty soon.
In 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from a teenager. Yeah.
If
Y'all
you-
will pray for me, right?
Yeah, we'll
yes,
definitely
yes.
be
Yeah.
praying.
If you want them to do something, they're not going
No, they're
to.
not.
Yeah.
No,
And you
they're not.
can't explicitly say, I would love it if you did this because they're not going to do it. They're going to go completely the opposite. I did the same thing when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
So it just made me wonder if there was ever a time when you were like, come in here and sing on this with me. And he was like, I want to sing with you, Mom.
Actually, it just it kind of organically started when he was in school as well, because everybody would ask him to do, like you did, Veterans Day specials and things, and everybody just loved it. And I said I didn't have to do it because they were asking him to do it. Well, it's so much different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to Kelly's point on this, you never want to listen to your parents. As a young man, the thing that really drove me into singing was the attention I got from girls. That was the first.
Absolutely.
That was, I was not like a super unpopular kid, but also wasn't very popular. And I remember the first time I sang, like, I remember that old song, "Good Morning, Beautiful."
Oh, yeah.
Steve Holy, right?
Oh, man. Yeah. I sang that song. And I remember all of a sudden I had these like senior girls interested in me, and I was like, "What am I doing? I've been doing this wrong the whole time." You know what I mean?
I'm trying the cheat code.
Yeah, I'm trying
to make a career out of it.
I'm trying to be funny. I should be singing. You know?
Your daddy told you that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Said,
yeah.
It's good with.
Well,
girls like it.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to go back 25 years and tell me what a game changer "Oh Brother We're Out There" was. I mean, just huge, right?
Yes, it was. And we were talking about that the other day, and I was telling them we actually went in and came into town to, go and sing that. And I had no idea, but the magnitude that would. But it's been an incredible journey. Had got to be a part of all the film and everything. It was just so much fun. I did. I need to post some of those pictures.
I've been on her about posting all these old photos. Like, you have some of these cool photos.
Yeah.
About a lot of things, and Tim Blake Nelson was there, and he had some of our albums, and he was going, "You've got to send me some more. I'm going to give you my address."
Oh my gosh.
Mom, I'm like, you mean you left Tim Blake Nelson hanging? Come on.
I'm going to get, now that we have so much more, that was way before, what we have. So delighted to have the social media now.
Sure. Yeah. Tim, if you're listening, she deeply regrets it. Hit us up anytime.
Well, give us a mulligan. We'll make good this time.
I think in the shuffle of everything, maybe that got lost, and so
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, we've got enough time for y'all to do one live. What would you like to do?
Well, hey, speaking of "Oh Brother," that was a great little tee up. Let's do
There it
that.
is.
Let's do that. Come
All
on.
right.
This is a little song called "I'm Weary, Let Me Rest."
I'm going to straighten it.
Yeah, there we go. Come on.
Oh, that sounded so good.
I know. I'm like in a happy place over here.
Thank
Y'all
you
gonna be wanting that
guys.
nap a little earlier today.
Yeah, that was beautiful. We love
Thank
seeing
you.
Y'all
it.
need to be on the Calm app.
Yeah,
I want to listen to that when I go to bed at
yes.
night.
That's perfect.
You
Absolutely.
know what? These songs will put a baby right to sleep. I'll
That's
tell you
right.
that.
But just
yeah.
like
My
calming.
daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
Haley, she said, every time Solomon hears those, he just goes right. He's like,
There's something to that.
Get you a brand
She's
deal.
putting it out there. Yeah.
There it is.
I like it.
So everybody go buy Mother Son Volume 1 for your kids. They're going to sleep through the night. It's a marketing thing. Guys, thank you for coming in.
Y'all are
Thank y'all for having
Good
us.
to see you.
Absolutely
Suzanne
great
and
to see
Brandon
y'all.
with us in the studio this morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the studio, Coffee Country and Cody. We've just been sitting around talking about a bunch of things, and as I said the other day, we had a Chris Young sighting that was unexpected. So Chris, who is a Grand Ole Opry member, bona fide, still in good standing.
Yep.
He doesn't owe any dues or anything like that. He decided that he was going to purchase a ticket and then go on the Grand Ole Opry tour. Like, he bought the ticket, had the ticket stub, and just showed up on the Grand Ole Opry tour over here. And
Yep.
they walked him through with the tour group, and the tour group was delighted. They took pictures with him. He stood with the group on the stage and did the group photo. I was like, this is hysterical. What was he doing? Well, you ran into him. So we get the update from live on the scene reporter, Amber Anderson.
Roving reporter. I know. I ran into him yesterday.
Okay.
And we're old friends, so we go back a ways. And so I hadn't seen him in a while. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. We just talked about you on the radio this morning. And he's like, really? And I was like, I think he was scared.
What did I do?
I know. And I said, yeah, I said, because you bought a ticket and went on an Opry tour this weekend. He cracked up and he's like, yeah. He goes, I had friends in town.
Okay.
And he said they had never been, and he wanted to take them on like the official tour, because as we always say, the official Opry tour is one of the best things you can do in Nashville.
It's very cool.
And this is proof.
Yeah.
When you've got Opry members bringing people, buying tickets with their own money to go on this tour.
Yep.
And he said they went in. No one had a clue. He said he walked through the whole tour pretty much. He said the only time that the tour guide even really realized it was he was talking about the water line backstage, because that's like the go-to fact that if any of us are like walking people around, that's the go-to fact.
Sure.
We're like, and this is the water line of when the flood happened.
2010.
Someone said, you sure do know a lot about this place.
No.
And he's like, yep, I sure do, sir. I do. And I said, Chris, you're in the Circle Room video. Like,
right.
He's in it picking up Vince Gill. And he goes, I'm in it twice. I said, your picture's on the wall backstage. Nobody had a clue. And he said he got up to the stage.
Yeah.
And he said he's with his group. So the group he was with on stage were his friends.
Okay.
But he said the lady taking the photo said, okay, guys, are you ready? It's your big moment. You get to step into the circle.
I love this so much.
We're ready. We're ready. Let's do it. And then he said when they got out, I think someone was like, hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Are you? And so then he started taking pictures. But he made it through pretty much the entire tour without anybody knowing. It was him.
That's hysterical.
Isn't that funny? I loved it's your big moment. That really sent me.
It's your big moment.
Yeah. And he was like, it was fantastic. My friends had a great time. We loved it. It was great.
I want to go find out who the tour guide was, because you know that they're probably like, holy cow.
Yeah.
I wonder if they thought it was like Undercover Boss.
But it's like, he's so unassuming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's wearing a ball cap.
Sure.
He's
not singing Little Black Dress or anything.
correct.
Sure.
And you don't expect it.
You don't
So
expect it.
therefore, you don't predict it.
Exactly. That's a question we should do. Like, where'd you see a celebrity where you least expected it?
Pancake Pantry. Keith Urban held the door open for me.
Okay.
First week of being in Nashville, 25 years ago.
That was your
in
welcome
July.
to Nashville moment.
I went to breakfast with my producer at the time. He said, where do you want to go? And I was like, I'm new here. You tell me. And he said, Pancake Pantry. And I said, let's go. So we are walking in, and there is a gentleman holding the door open for us. He has on a beanie. And I said, thank you. And he said, you're welcome. And we walked in and sat down. And my producer, David, said, did you know who that was? And I said, no. And he goes, that was Keith Urban. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, Keith Urban just held the door open for you. And I'm like, wow.
You're like, I made it. Here
Welcome
I am.
to Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah. This is very niche, but who's surprised it's sports. I was in Chicago for my birthday. We were on Michigan Avenue. We had just landed. We went straight to the Bean. That was like what everybody wanted to go do.
Sure.
We walked across the street. There's a Steak and Shake. Or no, sorry, Shake Shack.
Oh, I like a Shake Shack.
So I had never had Shake Shack before. We get our food. I'm at the condiment stand, and I'm trying to pump the ketchup out into the little cup, and it wasn't working. And so I'm like, and then this hand just comes and hands me a thing of ketchup. And I was like, oh, thank you. It was Abby Wambach.
Oh, wow.
Like,
That
most
was
decorated
wild. Yeah. U.S.
U.S. women's
soccer.
soccer player
player,
ever,
yeah.
also Florida Gator. Great. And I just stared at her. She was with Glennon. Glennon was there.
Yeah, Glennon Doyle.
And I just said, thank you, Abby. And
What
she
did
kind of
she
like
say?
smiled at me, and I was like, and go Gators.
Wow.
She was like, go Gators. She's like, I saw you struggling with the ketchup, so I figured I'd help you out. And I was like, thank you. Still one of the best.
That's amazing. I love those types
that
of
great?
stories. Yeah.
Well, Kelly knows this story, but the very first person I met in Nashville, Tennessee, I drove up from Miami, spent the night in Atlanta, then I had another 4 hours to here. And it was 2:00 in the afternoon when I arrived, and I knew no one but my program director. So I drove right to the radio station, and this other gentleman is walking up the steps at the same time. And my PD, Alan Eisenson, comes out and he goes, Charlie, Mayor. Charlie Matos, Mayor Bill Boner. Bill, Charlie Matos. So the very first person in the first 30 seconds I was in Nashville, Tennessee, I met the mayor.
That's
the current
cool.
mayor.
That's hilarious.
Because he was going by the station to do like a week of morning show.
You're like,
guest host.
hello, I'm new here.
Hi.
I didn't know that Nashville was that welcoming.
Well,
they send the mayor.
Yeah.
I sat next to the mayor this weekend.
The current
Freddie?
one. Freddie?
On the patio.
What's he up to?
I guess he was just eating with his family.
You know, I get to introduce him a lot, and so we laughingly, jokingly said that like we're a duo now. Whenever he goes somewhere, if he needs somebody to go out and introduce him, that I'm the girl. I'm like, hey, Freddie, call me. Let
There
me
you
know.
go.
Let me know what
My
you're up
friends
to.
texted me across the table. Is that the mayor? I'm like, yes.
Sure is. Sure is. His dad's a songwriter and has come in.
He's
and
been
done
on the show.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
So how Nashville is that?
Very. Very
Like-
Nashville. You know you're Nashville when your dad is a
I
songwriter
know.
and you're a DJ
Yep.
part-time.
That's right.
You forgot.
I forgot about that.
There you go. There's your trivia
Freddie
for
O'Connell,
today.
fun fact.
There it is. Thanks for hanging out with us. Come back and do it again tomorrow. We'll be back here. You can watch us starting at 8 o'clock. You can listen to us even earlier right here on WSM. We'll see you then. Bye.